Beautiful. Down in the corner, please.
Natalie, one look to your right. And while it's the last straight ahead.
Right here.
And then Natalie killed it again.
The last time right here for
And also turns out that she had gone to art school in the past.
It feels kind of meta that this story is about selling art and you're at Sundance selling art. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I think that's what appealed to all of us making it, is that it's adjacent to what we do. You know, we have this mix of art and commerce, and you have to, because, you know, someone's got to pay people for their work. But of course, like, when is compromise too much in the name of commerce? Who determines what art is worth? What happens when something that comes from your soul becomes a commodity? And there are questions that are incredible to ask and explore.
I think it's such a fascinating parallel universe to the film world, but it's got its own rules, or some rules made to be broken, some big characters, some big personalities. So it was like a great excuse to dive deep into the subculture, as you said. And I think the art world, the contemporary art world, is really at the forefront of examining this question of, like, what is art, right? How do we define it? Can we even define it? Is it context? Is it the eye of the beholder? And how do we assign value to it? So those are just some questions that I've always been intrigued by, and I always wanted to make something in the art world.
And looking back for me, looking back, all the way down.
A couple more straight ahead if you would, please. I love your pen.
Of course, we're at, unfortunately, a horrific moment in our country, with the federal government attacking civilians in our own cities. And I'm so lucky to be here in a joyful, creative community celebrating a movie we're really proud of. But it's impossible to ignore what ICE is doing to our country. And I'm very inspired, though, by all of the amazing, amazing Americans who are coming out and supporting each other and being there in community. It's beautiful.
I really like his 3 Days of the Condor. I like him as a sort of almost
I learned something and then ultimately nothing because I threw it all away. There's like few vocabulary words and things like that I remember, but I don't know what they mean. But I watched a lot of Sotheby's auctions for this one, so I know a lot about the selling of art, I guess, yeah.
She really respects film. I find her so interesting and so mature.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun, and the room was like electric.
I think we all know what
that
we
had such a great
time.
Well, I thought it just kind of my brain just like pace. This album actually feel like, I don't know, it's kind of inspired by my character. Everybody's really bonded, and also a certain way. So I guess, I don't know, that's coming out too, but I don't know.
2 and 3. And then for Jamal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One more time at the beginning.